right, everybody, thank you for joining me today as we are continuing our series with episode 4 of Choose Your Path. Of course, looking into the different niche markets in the Pokemon TCG and people that are successful in them. Today, we are going into buying and selling singles in the Pokemon market. And of course, today with that, the man in a helmet, Ancient Mew, is joining us to go over that part of it for us. So, Ancient Mew, if you'd like to do an introduction of yourself.
Well, thank you for having me, Northwoods. It's good to be here. My name is Ancient Mew. I'm always active in the chats. It's a lot of fun. I love talking to all the people in the hobby. I started my Instagram just for Pokemon, and it's doing really well. I really enjoy that. Taking pictures is fun, and posting stuff that I love. Um, Happy to be here, man.
Glad to have you on. Like I said, I follow you on Instagram, and I've seen a lot of the stuff even on Discord posts you put up. You do a lot of different things with the single cards. You actually do bring up quite a cool variety of different cards, which is really awesome to see when we're actually talking and discussing Pokemon for sure.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm just going to go over it today. The purpose of these interviews, of course, is to explore further and further into the niche markets, the Pokemon TCG, so that people that are new to the hobby have an opportunity to see how we're successful, what we're successful in, and the different niches to maybe choose a direction on where you may want to go, whether that's investing, collecting, or just the business aspect of it. So today I've got a series of questions. We've got 7 of them so far, and of course, as we go through, they will expand. We will go into new things as that continues. So without further ado, we'll just go right into the first question, which is going to be, what do you do other than buying and selling Pokemon singles?
Well, technically, I don't really sell too much. I mean, I mostly buy, but
Yeah.
I buy a lot of plushies, the video games, the video game consoles. I buy vintage, I buy modern, I buy it all, man. And I do buy a lot of product to hold some of it, but I open a lot of it for enjoyment. I open it with my lady. It's a lot of fun. It's a way we can bond together. Um, are you talking more investing?
Yeah, I mean, what are you even looking for investment? For the investment side of things, what are you looking at when you're looking at singles? How do you make a decision whether or not this is a single you want to purchase, and is it actually something that you see as being potentially in the future? Even right now, if you're not buying and selling, you're buying currently and you're not selling. A lot of us are buying currently, and then of course in the future you're maybe looking at these as profitable endeavors.
Well, I try to buy mostly cards that I really enjoy. Some for nostalgia. A lot of it is it for like giving away to my nephew and to give away in the future. But for holding investment wise, I'll say an alternate art that I really enjoy. I'll try to at least have like 20 to 30 of them for investment, and I'll just sit on those. And I don't really buy the graded ones. If I want to grade it, I'll grade it myself. But I'll try to get near mint or mint, close to mint as possible. But yeah, 20 to 30 of each one that I really enjoy. For same thing goes for vintage. I'll try to have, for an example, fossil Zapdos. I'm trying to get at least 30 of those in good condition. And they don't have to be first edition, but it's nice when I can get them in first edition, but
Yeah, I'm trying to
mostly that.
find some of those. Yeah, trying to find some of them older cards. Definitely getting more and more difficult to find those near mint versions of them out
Oh
there.
yeah.
And the people that do have near mint, of course, are usually asking a pretty good amount for them because they know how popular they are and they know that people are chasing those cards. So definitely I think that's gonna continue to become more and more difficult, especially on the singles market, is finding those near mint older
Yeah.
Watsy and older sets. Next question we got here is going to be, what progression did you do in Pokemon before settling into singles? Did you do other parts of it, wide range, and then settle into that, or did you actually just go right into singles?
Well, I mostly buy singles now, but I'll still buy some sealed product here and there. Some to hold, mostly to open. Um, mm, it started with the Pokeball tins, really. That was the first thing I bought was a Pokeball tin, and it had evolutions in there. And I pulled that Charizard, and that got me back into the hobby after, already watching a Leonhardt video that got me to buy the tin. But yeah, I do a little bit of both. Singles is definitely the wise choice for value. If you just want the cards you really like, just buy them. Don't try to pull them; it'll take forever. you'll spend a lot of money.
Yeah, and I used to have when I came back into the hobby, that was probably the biggest mental change that I had is when I was first in the hobby from 99 to 2006, you could pull a whole set really quickly in any of the booster boxes. Typically, WotC or maybe worst case scenario, 4 or 5 booster boxes, you could almost complete a whole set.
I was going to say another thing is I try to buy singles of cards that I had when I was a kid but are long gone, just to try to have that nostalgia again of have the cards that I like. I recently got a Dark Tyranitar that I had when I was a kid,
Oh, that'd be nice.
and I love that card.
Yeah, and I think that's something I've been working more and more towards now too. Even on my purchases, when I'm going for my collection pieces, it's going back now really into WotC because I'm finding some better prices on those era cards now. You know, as we're getting further and further away from the boom, and as the set markets are kind of settling, some of those are becoming more and more available. You're able to find them. People are now trying to get rid of them rather than they purchased something their investment. Now they're trying to just get rid of them for some money
I've
versus
noticed
just
that.
sitting on them. Like I said, my biggest expenses is the gold stars. I There's a couple gold stars like the Pikachu Gold Star and the Flareon Gold Star, and a couple of those that I really like to get because that was the last real generation of Pokemon that I played with. I actually used those cards in tournament, so it
Oh,
was
nice.
fun to actually be able to get those back. But once again,
Yeah,
you sit there and even look at a raw Flareon Gold Star, you're looking at in near mint, you're looking around $500 to $1,000 just for the card. You know, Pikachu one, what raw is about $2,500, $2,000, right in that range is what I've seen. So you could be looking at
wow.
some extremely expensive cards still in that era because of that. But as time goes on, we'll see how things settle. I mean, I don't think that a lot of that, personally, I don't think that all the WotC and that vintage era stuff has quite found the floor. Some of it has, but I think quite a bit of it has still got some movement to come down personally. So,
Yeah, the childhood cards definitely bring a lot of joy to my heart, and try to be positive about it. And it would definitely be hard to get 20 to 30 of the gold stars, but if you
that
can,
would be
yeah. But I've been
an
trying to get the
expensive
shinings too.
proposition.
Those are very expensive.
Oh yeah, a lot of the shining ones. Luckily, I still have some of those in my collection, so I don't need to chase a lot of those. Just the gold stars, they're hit or miss.
Yeah.
I did sell those right when I was going out in '06. I had playing decks and things like that, and I sold them to people I knew were still playing in tournaments and things like that. So I don't have all the gold stars anymore, but I do have
Oh,
quite a few of the shiny and back forward through Neo and all that. So like I said, it's just cool going back for the nostalgia. It's cool opening up your old binders and stuff and checking out the nostalgia of, hey, I actually played with this card in tournament back in 2004, 2006, or 99 and 2000 for some of them. So,
hmm,
yeah, like I said, I guess the biggest thing is that for me, it's cool to just see someone that's actually particularly just working mainly in this field because I don't just mainly work in here. I work all over, but some like you trying to get 30 of some of these cards is going to be, that's a mission in itself.
yeah.
So next question that we got here is what was the final deciding factor that made you go into Pokemon singles above other things?
Hmm. Well, I do buy sealed product also still,
Yep.
but not as much. I do primarily buy singles. Um, the thing that got me to buy most is just it's way easier, man. Like you can just add 20 of them to your cart, boom, right there. You don't have to spend $4,000 in sealed product to try to pull it. Um, I opened booster boxes upon booster boxes of battle styles and never pulled that sleeping Tyranitar. So I ended up buying my 20 to 30 of them. And it's so much easier, and you save a lot of money doing that, just buying the singles. Shout out to
Yeah.
Old School Pokemon for buying singles. I've bought a ton of singles off of him. It's a great store.
Yeah. Well, old time, he will be coming on the channel too for this. So
Oh, cool.
kind of another one of the people that, as I was talking in chats, I've got to set up some information with him, but old time, definitely a great source. I know does do some really nice singles through the store, so I actually do watch his stuff also. Yet to really, problem is I haven't been purchasing a lot, and need to get back into it. I've just been so busy at work to trying to sit down and actually purchase things has been a little bit more difficult lately. But
Yeah,
definitely, like I said, great source. Old Time will be on here, so definitely a lot of fun to have a discussion with him also on his business side of things.
yeah.
Um, all right, next question we have is: what was one mistake you made that you could advise others to avoid when joining Pokemon, when starting to purchase Pokemon singles?
Hmm. Singles or sealed product also? Because
You could do sealed product also. That's fine.
big mistake I made was, falling into FOMO for celebrations, and I bought one of those Lance's Charizard boxes. Actually, I think it was a couple of them for $50 instead of 20 before it was even released. Because, I thought it was going to be off the shelves immediately. I didn't think we were going to get any of it. So I definitely did the FOMO for celebrations, and me and my lady spent way too much money on products over MSRP. And I would say just pay us MSRP and then go to sold listings for singles on eBay and just see what they're going for before you just go and buy the first one that pops up. I do like buy it nows. It's just easier. I mean, I'll occasionally do auctions too, but buy it nows are easy. And then, yeah, just do your research on the card, the specific card, and try not to pay a little bit over too much. Like I would say in the last sold listing, don't go above $10 over that. Just if you're trying to save money. If you don't care, then by all means buy it. But
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I think most of
And
us are
then,
trying to be wise with our money.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, if you don't care, of course, just buy what you want. However much you want to spend doesn't make a difference. Biggest thing is has been from singles and from even in the like you said from the point
Yeah.
of purchasing product. A lot of people get tied up in that hype and FOMO. They think that things are not going to be available. I know people that bought even my local LGS kind of bought into that and put out ETBs when they first came out of celebrations. So when the first release came out, they were selling ETBs for $85, and they were
Oh
selling.
man.
People were just coming in and buying these things for $85 a piece. And up here where we lived, these ETBs didn't show up at Walmart the first week of celebrations release. So I think
Mm.
that really went to the LGSs that were doing that favor, and literally they sold out probably all their stock like almost immediately for $85 a piece. I went in there thinking I could get one, because most of our LGSs do charge a little bit more than Walmart. So if MSRP is $50, they'll charge 54 or $55. And I'm okay with that because you're a smaller business. I understand that, and you're trying to generate a little bit more profit compared to a big box store or Target or any of these other places that are bigger online stores. But that's just when the LGS is charging $85 for a box that's for $50 right on
Yeah.
release. They're really just trying to use the hype and FOMO that people are doing, just like you said, paying $50 for a Charizard box when it's going to come out in $20, and then they actually show up in the store and just full fledged dumping of them. Another one I
Yeah.
saw that with too was a couple of the, especially recently, are even the Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon boxes. Up
Hmm.
here, people went crazy because they came out and the LGSs got them and they sold them for, I think they were selling them for like $60 for that 35.99 box or $34.99 box. So they were selling them for almost double there. And sure enough, here comes Walmart a week later and just the whole shelf's full of them.
Oh wow.
And, it's just, once again, when you're talking about it, when you're working with it, hype and FOMO can be a really big problem, especially set releases. People really want to jump in and buy that single right off the bat, get that alternate art right off the bat. But if you watch historically, if you wait 6 months out, the cards of every one of these sets pretty much drops down to up a much lower price, usually closer to where their bottom line is going to be. Sometimes it
Yeah.
takes longer than 6 months, but in general, if you wait at least 6 months on these sets, you're usually getting bottom line, unless we have a severe shortage of it, like Evolving Skies. that kind of changes things on that end of things, but there is always that chance. All right, next question I got for you. Number one, number one most important thing to being successful in Pokemon.
Hmm. I would say have a budget you try to stick to. Um, Try to remember why you love Pokemon. If it's an artwork you specifically love, if it's the video games you used to play. Um, I personally love giving cards away, man. Like I'll do like Easter eggs. I'll put them out on a walk when we're going on a walk. I'll just leave them out for kids to find. Um, I love giving my nephew like plushies. I give him a Pikachu plushie, and he's obsessed already. And that reminds me like why I love this hobby, dude. Everyone loves it. It's like cross generational. Your average Joe to your high end celebrities, like everybody loves Pokemon, dude. Like it's just so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, it is. And even for this Halloween, I'm planning on doing. I got those the boosters from the Walmart. I bought 2 packs of
Oh,
those,
nice.
and I'm just gonna go give them away. I don't want to open them. I really don't have any interest in opening them. But I gave my son's open a couple of them just because he wanted to check them out. But I just plan on going out on Halloween and giving them to people. We always do a Halloween walk here in our local town, and as I'm going, I'm just gonna pass them out to kids as I see them on the street. Why? Because it's great for the hobby. Number one, it gets more kids involved in it, gets more interest into it. But number two, I just like giving stuff to people. I like to see them be happy that they've got something that's really interesting or fun or cool,
Yeah,
regardless if it was Pokemon or something else. I've always done that in the community. So it's just, to me, doing it with Pokemon is a really fun way. These boo packs are a really good way that if you have them, the set isn't going to be, I don't believe in any way, shape, or form that's going to be a collectible set. So why not just give them away? Have fun. Take a little
yeah.
bit of, the $15 that you would have spent on them. It gives you 40 packs. That's a potential of 40 people that you could give these to for fun.
And if a
So,
kid pulls a crappy card, like they're not gonna know. They're still gonna love it. It's still cool.
yeah,
They're gonna love it for the
exactly.
artwork or the specific Pokemon that it is.
Exactly. I mean, that's all they care about is it's a Pokemon card. They're
That
not like
actually,
us adults that are looking at it bigger.
yeah. That actually, today actually, I was at an appointment, um, and there was an elevator I had to go into, and I put a Chansey from Pokemon Go just on like wedged between the door, kind of. And as I was walking into the elevator, somebody immediately found it. It was some guy with I think it was his coworker. I think they were construction workers working in there or something. And he found it. And he goes, "Oh, Chansey!" And then the elevator closed. But I was like, "Yes, he found it. Sweet."
He found it. That's awesome.
Yeah,
There's someone around here that does that too. I'll randomly find like Pokemon, just single Pokemon cards in like the park. And like you
it's
said, it'll
fun.
be like the promos or, from like the tins or something like that.
Yeah,
I have no idea who's doing it. I I don't think you're from northern Wisconsin, are you?
no, California.
So yeah, so I don't know who's doing it, but it's just cool that I see them and I leave them because I know someone's probably doing that for an Easter egg hunt for kids. They especially do it like in the local park by us, and then they do it by the school, and then they also do it by some of the other like baseball diamonds and things like that where kids frequent quite a bit.
Oh
So
yeah,
once again, guys, it's an awesome if you got a ton of promos that you like I do. I mean, I got promos all over the place. Give them the kids. Kids love getting Pokemon cards, and it
yeah, they
it
do.
really does build up that hobby. I mean, it makes people, it brings kids once they get one, they're interested, and then they see a couple of them, and then pretty soon they're more and more into it.
Yeah,
So
I
definitely a
just know
way
I
to
found.
really booster.
Oh, sorry, I found
Go ahead.
Pokemon cards, and it's made my day. And they weren't even hollows or anything special, but it's still cool to find them out in the wild.
Yeah, it's like playing the Pokemon the real game.
Yeah,
So yeah, definitely something that if you have a ton of singles laying around that you just want to get rid of, they could be bulk cards. Kids don't care. They really don't. They don't understand and just finding
yeah.
it's fun. So, all right. Next question I got for you. Knowing what you do now, would you start in Pokemon singles or would you go a different direction?
Hmm. I would probably buy more singles than as much product as I opened, but I do love opening product, man. It's a great source of adrenaline and serotonin and brings us back to a simpler time, better time. And I like opening it with my lady. We have a good time, especially when one of us pulls something good. It's, "Oh my God, I pulled this!" And I open mouth thumbnail, but it's just us in the room.
Yeah, and once again, it just all comes down to the fun of it. Me, I get that with my son. He likes to open Pokemon cards. We have a lot of fun opening Pokemon cards together. I know that I'm losing money 99% of the time when I'm opening packs. I
Yeah.
I mean, if you understand that and you're still enjoying it, then so be it. It's not like I always say on the channel, I purchase so much as an investment, and the investment gets put away. It's not around me. I know that I have a tendency to, you see something and you want to open it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just a human tendency. Curiosity starts to eat at you to the point where you want to open something. But I also buy, my counter to that is I buy so much for opening. So I'll take $200 and I'll go buy ETB, a booster box, some of the V boxes, 3-pack blisters and that kind of stuff. And just Jacob and I will just open them because it's fun to do. And
Yeah.
it gets that, like you said, that rush, that serotonin when you do pull a gold card or an alternate art or some of the other cool cards that are inside of some of these sets.
Yeah. I got my lady into the cards. She mostly played the video games, but I got her collecting the cards now, and her favorite Pokemon is Eevee.
That's your
And
favorite one?
no, it's hers actually.
Oh, that's hers. Okay.
Yeah. And I love of the relationships I've made in the hobby too. There's so many cool people in here. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
everyone gets along, everyone's on the same team. Usually, there can be outliers, but most of us are all on the same team, and we all love Pokemon.
Some people come across more abrasive than others, and I mean, a lot of times it's just that day. Sometimes,
Yeah.
we're all people. Regardless, at the end of the day, I have my bad days. Everybody has their bad days, but in general,
Yeah.
most people in Pokemon are very, very open to discussion. I have personally have not found more than 2, 3 people and all the people I talk to that just don't want anything to do with me. And you could tell pretty quick that they're pretty secluded and they kind of do their own thing. But in general, people love to talk in this hobby. We all love to talk about Pokemon. We all love to talk about what what we like, why we like it. What are we collecting? What are we buying? We constantly are talking about these things in the hobby. And
Yeah.
whether it's on YouTube channels, Discord, Instagram, even in person, that's what's really fun about this hobby. And the more that you talk to people, the more engaged you become in this hobby. It really gets to the point where you learn more and you're more involved, and people start to talk to you, and it really gets going because that involvement and that engagement is just huge at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's all the questions I have today, Mew. If you got anything that you'd like to add, of course, we're just gonna have do a little free discussion of anything that you want to bring up or discuss.
Yeah. Shout out to Professor Oak's Discord. It's very cool in there. It's a fun time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
And then
absolutely. If you're looking for fun, definitely go join his Discord. I know he's got it on his YouTube page. You can go ahead and go link onto that. We're always
yeah,
talking inside of there. There's always great discussions.
I like the memes too. And then if anyone wants to see my cool cards every day, I post multiple times a day. Whenever I get a second, I'm on there posting something. Sorry if I don't like back your posts immediately, but I'm usually pretty busy. It's just whenever I get a second, I'll post a new card. It's just Ancient Mew with two W's if you want to add me on Insta. And then shout out to Basic Trainer because he's the one who actually got me to start my Insta. He was like, dude, just make an Instagram just for the hobby. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I did it and I love it, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And see, that's one of the platforms that I've honestly not gotten too involved with just because I'm active on Discord, I'm active on YouTube, and I try to keep up with some of the stuff on Instagram and try at least post once every few days. But I always say the winter time my channel does better just because I'm more engaged in the winter time. I got half the workload and everything kind of slows down here in northern Wisconsin. I get the opportunity to really engage with my audience and with my community,
Yeah.
and I can be involved in new things. But the summertime is just so difficult. I
Your
really
channel's awesome,
try.
man.
Well, thank you. And I
I
mean,
really like that video
I
you made about trying to collect the specific cards. I remember the
trying to
Celebi was on
collect.
there, and that's actually one of my cards I was trying to get
Oh,
20 to 30 of, and that's an
oh
awesome
yeah,
card.
yeah. Oh, the 10 hidden cards
Yeah.
or 10 cards you should be buying.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the Celebi. Like I said, some people the people don't realize how much is in Chilling Rain. Chilling Rain is actually a to me, there's still a lot of cards in there people don't see.
Yeah.
Like I put it up there, the glaring Rapidash was a perfect one. I had two people in the comments go, I did not even know that card was in Chilling Reign.
I didn't either
So,
until I watched your video. I
so
was
you're another
wondering.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's one of them cards. I think it's a really really good card. The artwork is really nice. It's got a multifaceted backing because of course Glaring Rapidash looks just like a unicorn. My
Yeah.
daughter loves it. She's not into Pokemon so much, but she has Galarian Rapidashes all over the place because she loves unicorns.
Yeah, it's
So
a
it fits
unicorn.
into them. Yeah, it's a multiple genre thing. It's not just saying like Charizard and Dragonite and Rayquaza. They have more popularity because I know people that know nothing about Pokemon and they have a Charizard or a Rayquaza up on their counter because they're a
Yeah.
dragon person. It's just they see it and they think it's a dragon and they don't realize what it is. So once again, there was a few of them cards. It's like Chilling Reign is really loaded with those cards though.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
actually
Slept on.
interesting. Oh yeah, people were so focused on Evolving Skies and Celebrations by the time Chilling Reign was released. I don't think a lot of people really focused on the alternate arts that were available in that set. They just kind of
Yeah.
slipped by. But like I said, it's cool. I want to start doing more videos like that. Definitely want to start working more that direction. Maybe
Yeah.
look at doing something similar to that in Sun and Moon and XY because singles at XY are actually really affordable for the most part. You know,
Sorry, you cut out a little bit that last sentence.
okay. Yeah, what I said on that one is what was that? Oh, XY. So if you go back and look at it, XY generation has a lot of affordable singles in there that are really good cards.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the XY era. I mean, you can pick up some really nice Charizard cards for like $100, and even Sword and Shield cards are going higher than that, and Sun and Moon Charizards that are similar are going higher than that. But here, these ones are sitting there around $125 for singles for a card that's a lot older and probably the same amount of print as the Sun and Moon era cards. They didn't have the print runs like we do now on like a Shining Charizard from Hidden Fates or Shining Fates. Sorry, Sword and Shield or
Yeah.
Shining Fates, or even the Rainbow Charizard or the alternate art Charizard of Brilliant Stars. But yet there it is sitting there for $95, and it's just
Yeah.
people just don't. They're
XY has
not.
some great artwork too.
Oh yeah, it does. And once again, it just shows you how many people are buying and moving in Sword and Shield, but they're not yet expanding downward into the older sets yet. I don't think people in the hobby yet have quite gone past what they've been put right in front of their faces since they've been back in the hobby in
Yeah.
2020 and on. So it'll be interesting to see how, as people stay in this hobby longer, how much they branch and how much they start to move.
Absolutely. Every week it's a new goal for me. It's like I'm gonna focus on this card this week, and I'll watch a bunch of auctions and go to buy it nows, get the lowest listing.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, buy it now functions great. Once again, though, if you're going to be doing that, and make sure, like you said, check the pricing. Some people throw buy it now really high, and you don't even realize it because it's buy it now, and you're just trying to grab,
Oh
and you
yeah.
grab way too expensive without even thinking about
It'd be like $35, $35, $75. It's like, well, what are you doing? What do you think is gonna happen?
it. Yeah, what? Why? Why are you at $75? That doesn't make any sense. So it does happen. I mean, even TCG
Yeah.
player, you got to watch sometimes because someone will put they'll put a damaged one at the same price as the near mints. And that way you'll accidentally grab a damaged card sometimes in TCG player if you're not cautious. Because they
Yeah.
charging more for it because you're not paying attention and they're trying to get you to grab that card accidentally. And well, I had it listed as damaged and you still bought it, so not my
Exactly.
responsibility. So just cautions out there. I mean, there's some really good deals right now. Biggest thing I've been purchasing lately has just been collections. A lot of people, even locally, modern, even all the way back. A little getting back on track here. Like I said, going right back to singles. Currently, right now, collections have been the biggest thing that I've been shooting for. Once again, you can buy that whole collection and get a single card out of it that you're looking for rather than, maybe paying big money for a card and not getting anything back. So do you typically go through and purchase collections to get a card out of it that you're looking for, or do you just typically purchase your singles only and not go after collections?
I'll mostly just buy the singles unless I really need the cards in the collection for my binder that I don't have already. But if I already have them, I'll just buy the specific card unless it's like a really good deal where I can find a specific card I really need and there's some extra ones. Like I don't even care about the extra ones. If I can get that specific card, I'll buy the whole collection and I'll just have cool extras. One thing I like to do is I will have a specific Pokemon that I really enjoy, that I really love, and I don't care if it's a common or an uncommon. I'll sleeve it and I'll throw it in a specific box because I love that Pokemon and I don't care if I have 200 copies of it, even if it's worthless. Like if it's an Eevee or a Pikachu, like I want it sleeved up in a box, specific box, just because I love those Pokemon.
Yeah, and that's, some people, that's definitely something that people do for sure. It's just Pokemon's Pokemon, and they'll just collect everything that they can for them. I think there's quite a few people out there that will just do that, especially vintage. Um, Personally, I have not really sold any vintage cards. I typically continue just to collect them, especially anything from like Neo and back. Even some EX era stuff. I've been saving more and more of it as I pull up collections with them. So yeah, I just, if it's my childhood cards, it's really hard for me to really want to sell those cards. I end up just building. I got boxes of them. I really don't care. I have no reason that I want to sell them. I think it's cool just to be able to open the box and see them all, and
Yeah,
it's just how I am. Modern, I don't really have the tie to it, so I don't mind selling bulk. Selling bulk, and I don't mind moving them out of here. But like I said, the older it gets, the more I want to save it.
yeah. The modern bulk is the ones I typically give away.
Yeah,
I'll
and
occasionally throw
that's
like a good holographic somewhere, but I'll sleeve it up and leave it in a sleeve somewhere for somebody to find. But most of the time, it's just modern bulk. Like that Chansey, like that dude was like a Chansey, like he was really excited. It made
yeah.
me smile.
And it was really just a promo card from you know these tins right here.
Yeah.
So if you opened any of those, yeah. In fact, I got one because I did the giveaway on here the one day.
Oh, on the
So I still
Blissey,
got some of the, huh?
on the Blissey.
Yeah, the Blissey, Chansey. I mean, all those ones. I mean, they're simple little promo cards, but yeah, definitely. They're available. They're there. Why not? People like seeing the hollows. Snorlax is always a fun one to throw out. I know kids love Snorlax.
Oh yeah,
Pikachu. I mean, Pikachu promos are great because if you opened up the Shining Fates V boxes when you're looking for Charizards and you open a few of those, everybody's got a bunch of them Pikachu V's laying around. Once again, it's a promo V you could throw out there, and people absolutely love it. So,
yeah.
but yeah. Anyways, that's like I said, that's all I've got. So, if you have anything else that you'd like to go over today,
I think that's it.
all right.
Happy to be on here. I'd be happy to come again if you wanted me to come on here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, maybe next time we'll do it in more of a live format. It'd be a little bit more fun to do it that way sometimes. Do the
Sounds
live
good.
format with some people. And once again, thanks for coming to the channel. Thanks for giving us your information, your knowledge. Once again, you don't have a YouTube channel currently, but down below I will put a link down for your Instagram. So if people do want to check out what you're purchasing and what kind of singles you're getting right now, I do know you put a lot of those images up so people can really see the cards that are coming through and what's available out there still. Because like I said, it's getting more and more difficult to find those near mint cards at a reasonable price because people are purchasing them. People that are investors or flippers are definitely still purchasing those cards, and at some points almost keeping them ransom at those high prices. So
Yeah,
eventually they will come down. I feel a little bit, but overall, definitely fun to see someone still finding these cards and taking the time to really get a hold of them. And if you work in certain areas, I'm sure you can probably find more cards of a certain type.
absolutely.
So, Well, other than that, thank you everybody for watching. Once again, if you want to talk to Ancient Mew about anything on the singles market, of course, his Instagram pin will be down below. And other than that, guys, if you have anything else to say, I'm just going to say good night to everybody. And Mew, would you like to say goodbye?
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to
All
subscribe.
right.
This channel is awesome.
Thank you for that, Ancient Mew. And other than that, we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.